CM 365, all about Carnatic music. Sri Muthuswami Dikshithar's compositions are indeed a treasure, both from the Sangeeta and the Sahitya point of view. If you look at the musical aspects, we see that it offers us so much of beauty from the melodic side. And the lyrical content, the Sahitya again is a treasure in terms of giving us so much information about the deity on which he actually composed that particular composition. Today I am going to take up one such composition, Ananda Natana Prakasam, and I thought I'll share the meaning because it's indeed so beautiful. Of course, it's if you're going to explain it, it's going to be very detailed, but in a small nutshell, I thought I will share the meaning of this song. I will sing the Pallavi, Anupallavi and the Charanam separately and share the meaning so that it becomes much more clearer. This particular composition is in Kedaram Ragam and set to Mishra Chaputalam. This we all know is one of the Panchabhuta Kritis on Lord Nataraja of Chidambaram, where he is worshipped as the Akasha or the space. And Patanjali and Vyagrapada are the sages who performed penance to the Lord to appear here and dance for them, and Dikshidhar also makes a mention of these two sages as part of this composition, which we will share later. Let us now sing the Pallavi of this composition. Ananda natana prakasam chitsabhesham. Ananda natana prakasam chitsabhesham. Ashrayami Shivakama Vallisham. So what is it that Dikshidhar conveys in the Pallavi? Ananda Natana Prakasham. He who is lustrous with the dance of bliss, that is Ananda. He is the Lord of the Sabha of the soul, Chit Sabesham. Here probably it could be also interpreted as the one who is in Chidambaram. And he says, I take refuge in the Lord of Shivagamavalli. We know that the goddess residing here in Chidambaram along with Nataraja is this goddess, and he is referring to her in this sense, says, I take refuge in you. Coming to the Anupallavi, further beautiful information shared here, that is Bhanu Koti Koti Sarkasham Bhukti Bhukti Prada Daharagasham Dina Jana Samrakshana Chanam Divya Patanjali Vyagrapada Darshita Kuljijabja Charanam. Ananda Natana Prakasham. So where he says that Bhanu Koti Koti Samkasham, his appearance is like millions of suns, and he is a provider of pleasure and salvation, that is Bhukti and Mukti. And he is the form of Dahara Akasha, that is the deep psychic world. In the Yogic Upanishad, we see that there is a mention of three types of Akasha, that is Chitakasha, the space of mind, then Hridaya Akasha, the space of the heart, and Dahara Akasha, or the space of psychic world. And in this context, Chidambaram refers to the Akasha in the Panchabhuta, and that is also something for us to note here. Then he is famed as protector of the destitute people, Dina Jana Samrakshanam. Then his lotus-like feet are those seen by the divine Patanjali and Vyagrapada, the sages who were given a vision of the dancing Lord at Chidambaram, which I also mentioned to you earlier. Now coming to the Charanam. शीतांशु गंगाधरम नीलकंधरम श्रीकेदारादि क्षेत्र आधारम भूतेशं शार्दूल चर्मापरो चिदोबरो भूसुरात्रि सहस्र मुनीश्वरं विश्वेश्वरं नवनीत हृदयं सदय गुरुगुह दातमाद्यं वेदवेद्यं वीतरागिडं अप्रमेय अद्वैत प्रतिपाद्यं संगीतवाद्य विनोद ताण्डवजात बहुतर भेद चोद्यम. So where you see that there is a passage followed by a Madhyama Kala. Shitamshu Gangadharam, that is the one who holds the moon and the goddess Ganga. Neela Kandharam, he is blue necked. Sri Kedaradi Kshetra Adharam, he is the foundation Adharam of the sacred place like Kedara. Here mention is of the place Kedara, and coincidentally the Raga Mudra also happens to be this, in the sense that this composition is in the Ragam Kedaram. Then Bhutesham, he is the lord of all living beings. His Ambaram, that is his apparel, is the skin of the tiger Shardula. Chidambaram, he resides in the place Chidambaram, or you can also interpret it as he resides in our Chit, consciousness, and Ambara, ether. And I had also made a mention about the lord of 3000 sages. Actually 3000 sages are said to have accompanied the lord from Kailasha, and this is called Thillai Moovayirar. In fact, even in Gopala Krishna Bharati's compositions, Parka Parka Tigattumo, like Parka Parka Tigattumo Bundan Padadari Sarnam. In the Charanam you see the mention of 3000 sages. Thillai Moovayirar Munivargal Dinam Poojittidum Padam. So where Kshetra Adharam, Bhutesham, Shardula Charmambaram, Chidambaram, Bhusura, Tri Sahasra, Munishwaram, Vishweshwaram. And Vishweshwaram, of course, refers to that he is the Lord of the universe. Now coming to the Madhyama Kala Sahityam, which started like Navanita Hridayam, where he says that his heart is soft like the Navanitam, that is butter. He is compassionate and father of Guru Guha, that is Lord Muruga. And also here again another beauty added by Dikshadhar, that Guru Guha happens also to be his Mudhra. So this is what we have to note about the genius of the composer, where appropriately he introduces the own, his own Mudra, as well as Vagekara Mudra, that is, as well as in the context how beautifully it fits into the meaning. That is the genius of Dikshadhar. So he says that father of Guru Guha, Lord Muruga, and also uses it as his own Mudra, Guru Guha. Then he is primal, celebrated in the Vedas. He is dispassionate and calm, and he is Aprameya. Aprameya means one who is immeasurable. He is expounded in Advaita philosophy. He takes pleasure in Sangeeta, Vadya and Tandava, causing different kinds of astonishment. Where beautifully he uses this phrase you must have observed while I sang. Sangeeta Vadya Vinoda Tandava Jata Bahutara Veda Chodyam. After this comes a beautiful Solkattiswara. That actually is the grand finale, I would say, because we know that Nataraja is associated with the Tandava dance, and so having appropriate Solkattiswaras for this makes it appropriate to signify the form of Nataraja himself. So it comes like pa ni ni sa ta ka jhanu ta sa ni ni jham tari ta sa ma ga ma pa ni ma ga ta ta na ta ka ma ga ma ma pa sa ni ni ta jho tari pa ma ga ta di gi na tum pa ni ni sa ta ka jhanu ta sa ni ni jham tari ta sa ma ga ma pa ni ma ga ta ta na ta ka ma ga ma ma pa sa ni ni ta jo ta ri pa ma ga ta di gi na to ma nanda natana prakasam, where we see that the incorporation of Solkat, again, as I mentioned in one of my earlier episodes also, is done only appropriately for the kind of deities which are associated with dance, like Nataraja or sometimes Krishna and so on. So here this appropriate Solkattiswaras adds beauty to the whole composition. And as for Rasikas, of course, I would always like to add that just as we are very curious to know what the raga of a composition is, how the raga movement is and other things, if we also get to know a bit about the lyrical content, what is the composer or Vagyakara trying to convey in terms of the Sahitya, then I suppose our appreciation also becomes multifold. CM 365, all about Carnatic music.